Everyone needs a place to live. It's a basic human need. But for millions around the world, having a safe and affordable home feels like a distant dream. The housing crisis is real, and it's hitting many countries hard. From soaring rents in New York City to overcrowded slums in Mumbai, the struggle for shelter is a global issue. But in one nation, this crisis reaches a whole new level. That nation is India. With a population larger than the entire continent of Europe, India faces a housing challenge unlike any other. Let's dive in and understand why. India, a land of vibrant culture, rich history, and over 1.3 billion people. This vast population is spread across diverse landscapes from bustling cities to serene villages. That's more people than the United States, Indonesia, Brazil, and Pakistan combined. The sheer number of people presents unique challenges. Now imagine trying to find a home for all those people. The demand for housing is immense and ever-growing. It's a massive task and one that India is struggling with. The rapid urbanization has led to a surge in construction, yet it still falls short. From the bustling streets of Mumbai, where entire families cram into tiny rooms, the situation is dire. To the sprawling slums of Delhi, where makeshift homes line the streets, the lack of affordable housing is evident. The lack of affordable housing is a stark reality for millions. Take Dharavi, for example. This Mumbai slum, one of the largest in Asia, is home to over 1 million people. Despite the overcrowding, the community thrives with resilience. The housing crisis in India is not just about numbers, it's about people. It's about the daily struggles and the dreams of millions. It's about families struggling to find a safe and decent place to call home. The hope for a better future drives them forward, despite the challenges. So, why is housing such a problem in India? It's a question that has many layers and complexities. Well, it's like a perfect storm of challenges. The rapid pace of urbanization, economic disparities, and policy issues all contribute to the problem. First, people are flocking to cities in search of jobs and opportunities. This migration is driven by the hope for a better life, but it also means that cities are growing faster than they can handle. This rapid urbanization puts immense pressure on housing, especially in megacities like Mumbai and Delhi. These cities are already bursting at the seams, and the influx of new residents only exacerbates the situation. Second, land is expensive, especially in urban areas. The high cost of land makes it difficult for developers to build affordable housing, as they need to recover their investments. This makes it difficult for developers to build affordable housing. Even when they do manage to construct such housing, it's often not enough to meet the demand. And when they do, it's often snapped up by investors, not families who need it most. Investors see real estate as a lucrative opportunity, further driving up prices and making it even harder for average families to find homes. Finally, there's the issue of poverty and inequality. Millions of Indians live below the poverty line, and for them, even the most basic housing is out of reach. Millions of Indians simply can't afford decent housing even if it were available. The gap between the rich and the poor is stark, and it manifests clearly in the housing sector. It's a complex web of factors, and there's no easy solution. Addressing the housing crisis requires a multifaceted approach involving policy changes, economic reforms, and social initiatives. But understanding the root causes is the first step towards finding answers. By acknowledging the challenges and working together, we can hope to make progress in solving India's housing crisis. Let's talk numbers. According to government estimates, India needs over 20 million new homes, and that's just for urban areas. Think about that for a second, 20 million homes. That's more houses than there are people in Australia. And it's not just cities feeling the pressure. In rural India, millions live in inadequate housing, lacking basic amenities like toilets and running water. The sheer scale of the housing crisis in India is staggering. It's a stark reminder that behind the statistics are real people, real families, in desperate need of a place to call home. Section 5, Space, the Final Frontier. So, India needs more homes. But is there even space to build them? India is a vast country, but land is a finite resource. In rural areas, there might be more open space, but that's often agricultural land, crucial for food security. And in cities, forget about it. Urban areas are already bursting at the seams, with limited space for new construction. Finding space for millions of new homes is a huge challenge. It requires innovative thinking, careful planning, and a focus on sustainable development. Section 6, Building Up. Are flats the answer? When you can't build out, you build up, right? Flats, or apartments as some call them, offer a potential solution to India's housing crunch. By building vertically, you can accommodate more people in a smaller footprint. Think about it. A single high-rise building can house hundreds of families. That's land that can be used for parks, schools, or other essential infrastructure. But even flats come with their own set of challenges, from financing and construction costs to ensuring they are built to high safety standards. Section 7. India takes action. A look at housing initiatives. The good news is, India isn't sitting idly by. The government has launched several initiatives to tackle the housing crisis head-on. One such program is the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, or PMA. This ambitious scheme aims to provide affordable housing to all urban poor by 2022. Another initiative is the Smart Cities Mission, which focuses on developing 100 smart cities across India with a focus on sustainable and inclusive urban development. These programs, along with public-private partnerships, are making a difference. But there's still a long way to go. Roadblocks ahead. Challenges to affordable housing. Building millions of homes is no easy task. India faces several roadblocks on its path to providing affordable housing for all. Corruption is a major hurdle, with funds often siphoned off or projects stalled due to bureaucratic red tape. Land acquisition is another challenge. With complex land ownership laws and often lengthy legal battles, acquiring land for housing projects can be a nightmare. And then there's the ever-present challenge of population growth. India's population is projected to keep growing for the next few decades, putting even more strain on housing and resources. Overcoming these challenges requires strong political will, efficient governance, and a focus on transparency and accountability. Learning from the world housing solutions across the globe. India isn't alone in facing a housing crisis. Other countries have tackled similar challenges with varying degrees of success. Take Singapore, for example. This island nation, known for its limited land, has managed to create a highly efficient public housing system that provides affordable homes to a majority of its citizens. Or look at the Netherlands, where innovative architectural designs and a focus on sustainable building practices have created a model for urban housing. By learning from these success stories and adapting them to the Indian context, we can find innovative solutions to the housing crisis. A brighter future steps towards housing for all. So, what can be done to ensure everyone in India has a roof over their heads? For starters, we need to streamline the approval process for housing projects, cutting down on bureaucratic hurdles and delays. We also need to invest in public transportation, connecting affordable housing to job centers and essential services. And let's not forget about rural India. We need to create more opportunities in rural areas, stemming the tide of migration to already overcrowded cities. By taking a holistic approach, focusing on both urban and rural areas, we can create a future where everyone in India has access to safe, affordable, and dignified housing. From the government, private sector, and citizens alike. Government policies need to be more inclusive and supportive of affordable housing. And thoughts on the housing situation in your area. What are your thoughts on the housing crisis in India? Share your stories, ideas, and is key to making this vision a reality.